And now over here we will be adding the material. So I will use the extrude option to add material to the sketch. So I'll click on extrude. You can see that the material is being added. First you need to select the sketch. So I'll select this sketch and I will say apply. So that sketch 1 is added. Whether you want to add material. Now because it is the first sketch, you will only get add material or add frozen. I will select add material. You need to select the direction. Now in this you have normal, reversed. I want it as both sides symmetric. Extend type should be fixed, and then you have to give the value. So I will say that the value is 10 units. That means it will be totally 10. So it has to be 20. Okay. Whether you want it to be a thin surface or not. And then we will have to say generate, so that the material is generated. So this is the model that we've got. Now let us understand the mouse controls also. To rotate the model, press your middle mouse button and you can rotate it. To pan it, you can use Control plus the middle mouse button and you can pan. And zoom in, zoom out is just scroll. You can also change your views by selecting the axis in the triad. For taking the isometric view, you can come to the iso ball. You also have some shortcuts for changing the views. You have the shortcuts which are assigned to the numerical keypad. If you want to select the front view, you can directly press the button 1 in your numerical keypad. So if you if you press 1, you will get the front view. If you press 2, you will get the bottom view. If you press 3, you will get the right hand side view. If you press 5, you will get the isometric view. If you press 7, you will get the left hand side view. If you press 8, you will get the top view. And if you press 9, you will get the back view. So these are all the shortcuts that you can access by using your keyboard. Okay, so this is how you can create the sketch and add material. Now let us see how to add datum planes. If I want to create some new datum planes, you have the options over here for adding the new datum plane. You can click on new plane and create a new plane. So I need the plane in the center of this two. So I'll say from plane, that I don't want to move the plane. I will say from plane, and I need to move the ZX plane. So I need to move the ZX plane by some value. So I've selected the base plane as the ZX plane, apply, and it has to move. If you see, red color shows the X axis, green color is the Y axis, and Z is the blue one. So I need to move this into the Z direction. So I will say offset in the Z direction, and what should be the offset value? So I need to move this by 6 units. Okay, or I need to move it by 10 units. So you can give values and you can see that the datum plane is created, and then you can say generate. Similarly, I want to create one more datum plane. I'll again click on new datum plane, but this time I don't want to move from plane, I need to move from face. So I'll select the base face, apply, and then I need to move this again. I will say offset in the Z direction, and the offset value has to be 6 units again, and we will say generate. Similarly, you can create more datum planes. If you want to create datum plane from point and edge, you have multiple options: from point and normal, from coordinate system, by using 3 points. So all these options can be used for creating a new datum plane. Okay, now let us add more features. Now whatever planes I have created over here, for example plane number 5, I need to add a sketch on plane number 5. So to make sure that you add the sketch on plane number 5, first select the plane number 5 from your tree outline and then click on sketching tab so that you create a sketch on this plane. Then click on look at face so that it becomes perpendicular and create your second sketch. So I need to add a sketch over here. Okay, I'll give the dimensions. I need the distance between this point and this has to be 20. Then I need the dimension between this point and this, which has to be 30. I need one line. I need only one single line, so I will add the single line over here, and the distance between this line and this has to be 15 units. Now I need the same line on the opposite side, so what I'll do is, instead of drawing it, you can just come to modify and use copy and paste options, or you can also use replicate options. Now see what we are doing. I want the same line on the opposite side, so I will say replicate this line. After selecting the line, you have to click the right mouse button and use these options: set paste handle, use plane origin as paste handle, and use default paste handle. Now what is this? This is nothing but, if you know AutoCAD, in AutoCAD you have to select a base point. This is nothing but the base point selection. So if I want to mirror this line about this point, this has to become my base point. So I'm going to say this is my base point, and then because I want to mirror it, what you should do is again say right click, and you can use this option flip horizontally or flip vertically. So I'm going to say flip horizontally. Can you see that line has, and then again use that base point to paste it so that it is exactly the mirror. I hope you've understood. And then I need to draw one arc over here between these 2 points. So I will use arc by 3 points, and then you can draw the third point. You can mark the third point. So this is my third point. Now I need to trim these lines, so I will come to modify and I will use the trim option. I don't need this, I don't need this, and I don't need this. And then you can start giving the dimension. So I need to give the dimension to this. I'll first give the distances. I need to give the distance between this point and this point. Okay, now let us mark all these dimensions. V5 has to be 45. Okay, I have made that as an equal distance. This distance is equal to this distance. R4 has to be 40. I need to give the dimension between. Okay, So now if you notice, we have created our sketch, which is again a fully constrained sketch, and now we will come back to the modeling tab, and now we want to add the depth. So if you see, the material is getting added on the opposite side. I will need to change it, so I will say reversed, so fixed, and we can give the value as 30 units, and I will add the material. Okay, similarly I need to add another sketch, but this time the sketch has to be on the ZX plane. So I have selected the ZX plane, and then I will click on the sketching tab. Okay. Now let us start creating the sketch. Okay, I need a circle. The circle diameter should be 40. I need to change the distance between this and this. This has to be 60. Okay, and now I need to add one polygon. Now the polygon should have 6 sides, so I will take 6 sides, and then I will start drawing my polygon. Okay. After that, I'll come to constraints and make sure that this line is vertical. Also, I need to give the dimension. So this has to be 15 units. And let us say this has to be 18 units. And then we will come out, and now I want to add material to this. So again I will click on extrude. The sketch is this sketch 3. I need to add material, but it has to be on both the sides, and it should be 20. If you say generate, so this is a model that we have created using the sketches and extrude option. We can add fillets over here, but we will see how to add fillets and chamfers in the coming chapters. Here you have just understood how to add the basic sketches and base features like extrude. Now we will see how to use the ruler. Now if I want to measure this distance, I can use the ruler to understand what will be the gap between them. So I can understand that this gap is somewhere around 30, or somewhere around 30 units. If I want to measure this gap from here, so it gives me a tentative length measurement for which I can use the ruler. If you want to sketch something on any plane on this face, you can use the filter over here. You can use the face option, select the face, and then go into the sketching tab, look at face, so that you are going to create your sketch over here. Okay, dimensions, I need to measure the distance between this and this. need the radius, so R3 has to be 3.5 and this has to be 45 yards. Also I need the distance between this and this has to be 7.5. Come out, and now this, and again use the extrude option. It has to be in the reverse direction, and here I need to make it as a cut material. So that much material is cut. Can you understand this? You also have something called as slice material. Now if you see, when I have said it as cut material, you have only one body. That means the material has got removed from the same body. But if you use a slice material option and if I say generate, you will see two bodies being created. Now what exactly has happened? The first body is this. The second cut material has cut that much material from the first body and regenerated it in the second body. If I just hide the two bodies, see, that much material is being cut, this much is the gap, and if I hide this body, see, so these are the two bodies that are created. If you select add frozen, again you will get two bodies, but here the second body does not cut over here. If you see, this is the first body, there is no material being cut over here, and the second body has overlapped with the first body over there. Okay, we will see for what we are going to use the add frozen option. Later on we will be seeing this. If I use imprint faces is nothing but there is no body created, only a face imprint is created over here. If you see, the imprint of that body will be created as a surface, which can be used for application of load purposes. Okay, so this is how you will create your base features using your sketching options and extrude option. With that, we have understood how to create our basic sketches using the Ansys Workbench design modeler.